collagen is synthesized by different cell that is present in the connective tissue or bone. So for example, in connective tissue it is synthesized by fibroblasts. So these are the major cells that will synthesize collagen. So fibroblast will synthesize collagen in connective tissue, and you can see chondroblast in cartilage, osteoblast in bone, odontoblast in teeth, so cementoblast in cementum of teeth. So these are the main cells that will synthesize collagen, and these are the minor cells that synthesize. Now let's talk about the synthesis of collagen as a process. So you know, synthesis of collagen, as I told you, it will happen where? It will happen inside fibroblast. It will happen inside fibroblast or osteoblast, cementoblast, odontoblast, fibroblast. So this let's take fibroblast. So what will happen? You know, the protein synthesis happens where? It happens in the endoplasmic reticulum. Rough endoplasmic reticulum. Actually, there are two types of protein. This is ribosome. There are two types of protein. So ribosome will synthesize protein. This is protein. Okay, this is mRNA. So ribosome, when the protein is secretory protein or the protein that is going to bind membrane, then this ribosome will get attached to this endoplasmic reticulum. Otherwise, the protein synthesis will happen in, for example, the protein that is required for cell itself. So it will be synthesized in cytosol. It will not bind to the endoplasmic reticulum. But here in our case, collagen is a secretory protein. So that is why what will happen? So collagen will be synthesized in endoplasmic reticulum. How? You can see this. So this is endoplasmic reticulum. Now what will happen is the protein, you can say this is smaller unit, larger unit. Now let's draw, this is mRNA, and then protein will be synthesized like this, and this protein is collagen. What will happen after synthesis of protein? There will be processing of protein. So this single chain will be synthesized like this. So this single chain that is synthesized is called pre-pro collagen chain. Now what will happen? There is at the terminal end there is a chain called signal peptide. All protein that binds to this endoplasmic reticulum will have signal peptide. This has to be cleaved. So this signal peptide will be cleaved, and after cleavage of signal peptide, the protein will become a bit shortened, but it will be there. So it will be removed. A part of protein will be removed. A part of N-terminal end will be removed, and this protein is called pro-collagen. Pro-collagen. Now this pro-collagen will undergo a series of reaction inside endoplasmic reticulum. What is that reaction? The reaction is hydroxylation. Okay, mainly hydroxylation. Which hydroxylation? Proline and lysine. It will the hydroxylation, and then at the same time this one protein, this protein with other two protein will form a tripeptide, collagen tripeptide. Okay, this is called you can see this is called collagen. You can see this is called pro-collagen molecule. This is called pro-collagen molecule. So pro-collagen chain is there. Can you see this pro-collagen chain? This pro-collagen chain will come and combine with two more collagen, it will form this pro-collagen molecule, chain to molecule. Now this pro-collagen molecule will have this useless N and carboxy terminal, because this N and carboxy terminal help this molecule to form this triple helix. Now this collagen is secreted from fibroblast, from the fibroblast. This collagen is secreted from the fibroblast in pro-collagen state. Pro-collagen has N terminal and C terminal. This is pro-collagen state. Pro-collagen molecule. Tripeptide is molecule and one peptide is called chain. Pro-collagen chain. So this pro-collagen molecule will be secreted into the extracellular matrix, and now this pro-collagen molecule, this triple helix, which has N terminal and C terminal, will be cleaved by molecule, that's matrix metalloproteases, that is present in extracellular matrix. It is a zinc containing protease, metalloprotease. So it will cleave here. You can see it will cleave here at carboxy terminal and here, and that is how it will make a protein, this type of protein, without carboxy, and this is called tropocollagen. Tropocollagen. And this tropocollagen will align like this in staggered fashion. Like this. And there will be formation in this bit, there will be formation of a very different type of covalent bond, very specific to collagen. I will tell you what type of covalent bond. So there will be formation of covalent bond here. And this type of covalent, this is not a disulfide bond. This is a different, there is different type of covalent bond. And that is happens between lysine. So this covalent bond is a very tight covalent bond, and that is why collagen becomes very strong. So this covalent bond will hold this collagen fibril. This becomes fibril. Tropocollagen to collagen fibril. Now collagen fibril, this type of collagen fibril associate, many collagen fibril associate in a bundle form collagen fiber. Remember this. First, collagen will be synthesized in endoplasmic reticulum, and then that collagen after synthesis will be cleaved. Signal peptide will be cleaved, and the same time there will be hydroxylation of proline and lysine. Hydroxylation of proline and lysine, and along with hydroxylation, three events inside cell. First is cleavage of peptide, second is hydroxylation, and third is this trimerization. Okay, folding into row. So three actions is happening inside cell. So first is cleavage, then hydroxylation, then trimerization. After trimerization, what will happen? Trimerization inside endoplasmic reticulum. And then last step that happens in Golgi apparatus. Fourth. So this is called glycosylation. G for glycosylation, G for Golgi. All three events happen in endoplasmic reticulum. What are three events? Signal peptide cleavage, then hydroxylation and trimer formation. This will happen in endoplasmic reticulum, and then glycosylation, fourth step, will happen in Golgi. G for Golgi, G for glycosylation. So glycosyl unit will be added to hydroxylysine. Not to hydroxyproline. Four event. First is conversion of pre-collagen into pro-collagen through cleavage. Second is hydroxylation. Third is tripeptide formation into collagen chain into collagen molecule. And third and fourth is glycosylation. Now you can see this pro-collagen molecule will be secreted and cleaved in extracellular matrix. After cleavage, you can see there is formation of bond between this collagen molecule. This is a covalent bond. So you can see this first. This is a chain. The chain will form a tripeptide, and this tripeptide will come out of the first tripeptide pro-collagen molecule, and pro-collagen molecule come out of the cell, secreted into the extracellular matrix, and cleavage convert that pro-collagen molecule into tropocollagen. This tropocollagen will associate like this and it will form collagen fibril. This collagen fibril, many collagen fibril, you can see this one collagen fibril too. The bundle of collagen fibril will form collagen fiber. So this is the level of organization of collagen. This hydroxylation is done by different enzyme. We will talk about that enzyme. This glycosylation is done by enzyme that is present in Golgi. We will not talk about more about glycosylation. We will only talk about this hydroxylation process mainly. And then this this cleavage. Cleavage, I have already told you, cleavage is carried out by matrix metalloproteases. So I am not going into detail about this matrix metalloproteases. So just understand, this is a zinc containing enzyme that will cleavage to cut this carboxy and N-terminal. Just remember here only. So I talked to you about matrix metalloproteases here only. So there are many disorders. I'm not going to talk about matrix metallo. You don't need that here. So this is matrix metalloproteases. And then this covalent bond is formed by a different process. I'm going to talk about this. So this covalent bond is first accompanied by oxidation of lysine. So oxidation of lysine will carry out this covalent bond formation here. So oxidation of lysine here, hydroxylation of lysine. So hydroxylation of lysine happens here. Hydroxylation of lysine and is happening inside the cell, and oxidation of lysine happening outside the cell. See, oxidation of lysine is for formation of covalent bond, for formation of collagen fibril, for formation of covalent bond between tropocollagen. This is for formation of covalent bond, oxidation of lysine. Here hydroxylation of lysine is for glycosylation. This is done by lysyl hydroxylase, very easy. Lysyl hydroxylase. This is done by lysyl oxidase. Remember, differentiate these two events. One inside cell in the endoplasmic reticulum, one outside the cell. What is the purpose of this? Purpose of this is glycosylation. Purpose of this is covalent bond formation between tropocollagen molecule. So you understood difference between two collagen, and this hydroxylase, lysyl hydroxylase, require vitamin C. This lysyl hydroxylase and at the same time prolyl hydroxylase. Proline hydroxylation also happens. Both require vitamin C. Both require vitamin C, but this require copper. This lysyl oxidase require copper. Fortunately, both start from C and C. Vitamin C, and this is copper. Vitamin C and copper. So these are the events. So one lysyl hydroxylase inside the cell, lysyl oxidase outside the cell. Lysyl hydroxylase function because of vitamin C, lysyl oxidase function because of copper. Two differences between these two. What is the role of proline and lysine hydroxylation inside the cell? These two events happen inside the cell. What is the role?
Glycosylation.
Lysyl hydroxylase is glycosylation. Good. What is the role of proline hydroxylation? The role of proline hydroxylation is, you will see, intramolecular cross-linking by hydrogen bonds. So you can see there will be tripeptide. This is, let me draw like this. So let me use different color. So there will be tripeptide like this. So this tripeptide. So what happens? This proline hydroxylation will help in actually forming hydrogen bonding between this inside the molecule, because O is electronegative element. So this H will bind with this other O like this, and this other hydrogen can bind with. So this actually OH will help in intramolecular hydrogen bond. So it is stabilized intramolecular structure. Okay, cross-link. And glycosylation, and this lysyl hydroxylase is mainly for glycosylation. Remember this two. So see this intramolecular, so intracellular, this event happens, hydroxylation happens inside cell. So intracellular intracollagen molecule cross-linking is facilitated by hydrogen bonding. That is why hydrogen bonding between hydrogen, this is just electrostatic attraction between this hydroxyl group. That is why you see vitamin C, if there is deficiency in vitamin C, it will stop collagen from maturation. It will produce immature collagen, and that is where you will find the significance of hydroxylation process. If vitamin C is absent, so there will be immature collagen. That immature collagen will cause bleeding gums, even rupture of blood vessels, and patient can die. So, but this type of disorder does not happen in modern age. A very like severe type of condition you will not see in clinical practice, but mild condition you may see in your clinical practice. So mild condition like blistering of your buccal mucosa, those kinds of things you will see in your practice, but not in severe kinds of. So this vitamin C is required for hydroxylation, and you can, from this disease, you can understand the significance of hydroxylation. So you can see this hydroxylation of proline. So prolyl hydroxylase and lysyl hydroxylase utilize vitamin C. This is a very important question. The collagen synthesis step is very important, especially vitamin C requirement, copper requirement. These are important events. So now you can see this is a question. So vitamin C is required for this process, hydroxylation. Now glycosylation will happen only to hydroxylysine, not to hydroxyproline. Improper cross-linking present in scurvy because of lack of vitamin C. So if vitamin C is absent, there will not be hydroxylation. If there is no hydroxylation, there will not be cross-linking. So this is the reason vitamin C is very important. Now you can see after this hydroxylation, this collagen molecule will form tripeptide. This hydroxylation facilitates formation of tripeptide. So three events I told you: hydroxylation, cleavage of signal peptide, hydroxylation, and then tripeptide formation. Now, so this is the function of vitamin C. You can see here, this is the function of vitamin C. So oxidation, prolyl hydroxylase cause hydroxylation of proline, and this proline will convert into hydroxyproline. So that we talked in the beginning, glycine, XY. So X is proline, Y is hydroxyproline. Proline is converted into hydroxyproline. So hydroxyproline is not inserted into protein. So proline converts into, so answer this question, what is the role of extracellular lysine oxidation in collagen matching? Lysine oxidation that require copper.
Is it for the formation of covalent bond?
Yes, you can see extracellular oxidation will facilitate formation of this bond. Lysine oxidation occurs at which space? So it is extracellular. Oxidation happens in extracellular space.